Welcome back to Our Community. Susie Thomas visiting with Esther Troyer and Lori Comstock. They are from Operation Christmas Child, and we're talking about how to put together these boxes, shoe boxes, and deliver them to a distribution place or some place that is collecting to deliver to a distribution place. And then they end up by Christmas time generally? No. They end up when in the hands of these children?
Most of them boxes, the only ones actually that by Christmas time are Mexico, and that's because from Dallas they can get to Mexico for Christmas. Most of the other times are in the spring and into May and June.
Okay, good to know. But we're doing it now,
Right.
And it's always right before Thanksgiving or right around Thanksgiving. So tell us our timeline. How much time do we have to put these together?
We collect the third week of Thanksgiving, of November, so November 18th through the 25th this year. And we have the drop-off locations. They can be found online. And we open up our distribution centers. Our area, the Akron area team, has about 15 different locations. And they're opened every day during that week, certain hours, particular hours.
So the best thing to do is go online to see
Yes.
where and when.
If you want to find out where the closest one is, if you Google shoebox drop-off location near me, it will pop up. I tried it this
Google
morning.
knows that?
Google
Okay.
knows that.
Wow.
Shoebox drop-off locations near me. And it will give you all the locations within a 25-mile radius.
Why is that? Is that because we've been doing this for so many years that even Google knows what a shoebox drop-off means? You don't have to explain, well, Google, it's Operation Christmas Child, was started by Samaritan's Purse. And tell me a little bit about the history. How long have we been doing this that even Google's all up to speed on
A
it?
couple of years ago, shoebox actually became a word.
Shoebox.
One word.
One word.
Shoebox.
became one word.
Got it.
So it started in 1993. So we've been at this now for quite a long time.
Yeah.
And so, yes, Google is finally recognizing us, and they know it.
That's pretty encouraging, isn't it?
It is.
Why shoe boxes?
I think it's because it's an appropriate size. It's a size that the children can hold, they can carry it, and it can contain quite a few items in it. It also, remember, it has to go into a carton. So once we have our National Collection Week, our boxes are shipped down to a processing center. There are 8 around the country, and ours happen to go to Charlotte, North Carolina. And there they are opened up, they're inspected to ensure that there are none of the prohibitive items in there, and then they're sorted into cartons by age and gender, and they already know where they're going to be heading, so they immediately get onto a truck and they start their journey. So I think a shoebox fits. We can usually fit maybe 20 in a carton.
Nice.
So the trip is quite involved and extensive, and I think that's the right size for that.
The hardest part of all of this is wrapping that shoebox because you have to wrap it so that the lid can
It's
come
still
off.
open. Correct.
So, do you have any tips on the best way to do that?
The best way and the easiest way is to get the pre-printed cartons
Amen,
or
sister,
shoeboxes.
yes.
You can order those from your local Operation Christmas Child team, or you can order them directly from Samaritan's Purse, Operation Christmas Child.
You can also pick them up at local Chick-fil-A restaurants. They are handing them out. You can also buy them at Hobby Lobby. We have the corrugated cardboard that are available, and those are available at the Chick-fil-A's. And then Hobby Lobby has the plastic ones.
Nice.
Now, those are very nice because they will last a long time, and the children can use them for years. So you have a couple different options.
Oh, that's great. And we know locally, and maybe even give me all the Chick-fil-A locations that off the top of your head that are participating.
The ones in our area will be Dressler Road. In Fairlawn, we have the one up there, and then Macedonia. So we've got 3 different ones that are passing out boxes, and then they are collecting them on particular days, November 9th or the 16th.
So great. I mean, there's all kinds of wins there. You get to take your family to Chick-fil-A and eat their deliciousness.
Delicious food.
And then pick up your boxes, drop them off again, and
Correct.
Chick-fil-A takes care of it for you. Just can't lose.
If you are in Tuscarawas or Holmes County or Carroll County, you can pick them up at Royal King. You can also get them from Walnut Creek Cheese, Kime Lumber, or you can get them from Esther Troyer's got 3 pallets in her garage right now. She'll be glad to help you out.
Awesome. Well, and it makes sense, too, because that does keep things to a shippable weight.
Yes.
I'm guessing as well.
As opposed to a boot box. You think about somebody using a large box. We prefer to have a more standardized size.
So I know there's, as we talk about shippable, there's got to be costs involved in shipping these. Is there something else we should include in that box to help defray the costs?
Yes. They do suggest that we send $9 for the shipping, but let me just tell you what all that $9 pays for.
Okay.
I don't know how many people have children out of state. I have grandchildren. I cannot send a shoebox size through the mail or UPS or any way to Texas for $9. So it really is inexpensive. But this is what all it pays for. It pays for collecting it, for processing it, for shipping it overseas, for training local churches how to distribute these, for the ministry partner guide, which is how to share the gospel whenever shoeboxes are distributed, and also for the greatest gift gospel booklet. So
$9 covers all of that.
$9 covers all of that. So please, if at all possible, do include the $9 because it does help with all those myriad of things to get the shoebox from your house or where you drop it off at the church and then into the hands of a child.
Somebody's probably saying, golly, couldn't I just write a check for much more than that?
Yes,
you would
can.
accept that, correct?
There's a
Definitely.
wonderful option online at SamaritansPurse.org to do follow your box. And that's a way that you can find out what country your box ends up in. You do a donation that way. You can print off the labels, and then you will get an email when that box is scanned and you know where it arrives. So that's a really great option. And of course, they can write a check. If you're doing 10 boxes, you can write a check for any amount, $90 or more is preferable, and put it in just one of the boxes.
Okay.
And then that gets taken out at the processing center. That's one of their tasks there, is to make sure there's no money in the box. They take that out and it goes to the right place.
It's been $9 for quite
couple
some
years.
time.
It was
hasn't it?
$7
Okay.
a few years ago, and maybe 3 years it changed to $9.
So are you thinking of just round it off, make it easier, and just say a flat 10?
If they'd like. It won't be turned down.
But it still honestly only costs, your actual costs are $9 to cover all of this.
That's probably the number they give us. It may cost more than that, but not $9 is what they're asking people to contribute because the ministry also understands that people are giving, as they're packing the box. So
the other thing is that it's handy to have a brochure because they have right there the little labels connected right in it to tell whether this is for a boy or a girl and what age group.
Correct.
How do we get those brochures? Can we do that online and run them off, or do we need to pick them up at some kind of a center first?
You have a number of options. You can pick them up at the Chick-fil-A's or the other businesses that are offering shoe boxes. You can contact your local team, and your team members can give brochures to you. You can order them online. They're free. And there's another option. If you're packing a number of boxes, there is a printable sheet that has 10 labels on it. It's black and white, 5 for girls, 5 for boys. And you can make as many copies as you want,
Awesome.
and that allows you to do that. So
What a great thing for an office to do together,
Right.
or Bible study, or your Sunday school class, neighbors get together and just do this. And it is often fun to take children along and help them do the picking out. If it's for a 5-year-old girl, take a 5-year-old girl with you.
say, what would you like? What would you like? And have them help pack. Absolutely.
I take my grandchildren with me when I'm packing, even when I want a lot of things. In fact, I went to a Family Dollar store. I had my 3 granddaughters. My cart was all full, but they saw things I didn't see. They said, Grandma, what about this? Grandma, what about that? Because they were thinking as a child thinks. So take your grandchildren, your children with you when you're shopping. For
What
shoe
kinds of
boxes.
things did they bring up to you that you wouldn't have thought of?
necklaces, like the beaded
Yes.
necklaces,
beads.
which I may have thought of, but they saw them. They found some really cute little stuffed animals that were way on the bottom shelf that I wouldn't have seen. Certain notepads that were really cute because my granddaughters love little journals and all that sort of stuff. Oh my goodness, they just
Yeah. It's better to look at this all through their eyes.
Yes,
Take
it
them
is.
along, your little shopping assistants.
is.
That would
Some
really
of the
be good.
favorite things that we like to pack are for the older children. And for the older boys, we do toolkits.
Yeah.
And you can get small, at Walmart, you can get small hammers that are very nice weight. They're strong with screwdrivers. And then you can add some measuring tapes or work gloves, things like that they might be able to use, help somebody and maybe earn some money. For the older girls, we put in sewing kits, complete with ribbons
Brilliant.
and buttons and thread and scissors, of course. So that's kind of a fun way to do that, too.
So those kinds of things are okay. Scissors
Yes.
are okay. So awesome.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, let's review some of these things. So we want to think hygiene, and to
Soap,
remember, yes,
washcloths,
bar
toothbrush, bar soap, yes. We put in washcloths, maybe a hairbrush, a comb, something like that.
And the toothbrushes go over
Toothbrush
big.
is huge.
Then some office supplies or school supplies, those kinds
School
of things.
supplies, we always like to include pencils. We've heard stories about children who cannot go to school unless they have a pencil. We've heard stories about the teacher that breaks the pencil in thirds so each child can actually have something to write with. So pencils are huge. Colored pencils are great. Crayons, of course, for the younger children especially. Then you do your scissors and you do your markers. You do, if you do pencils, you make sure you have pencil sharpeners. People forget
right.
about the sharpeners
Right.
or erasers. I heard a story about one parent who their child had received the box, they received the pencils, and they had the big pink eraser. At night, they would erase what the child had written because that was the only paper that child had, so they could keep writing. So a nice spiral notebook can fit in there nicely, that kind of thing.
Yes. Okay, so those two categories, and then something cuddly, something to love. What suggestions?
Stuffed animals,
Yeah.
they're the easiest, even for boys. Boys and girls enjoy those.
That's so good to remember. And if we take the box with us when we're shopping, we can make sure it will fit.
Yes.
You can kind of put
Yes.
things in as you go.
Yes.
And then toys, toy suggestions. What do you say?
Toys, trucks, balls. If you can't do a soccer ball, any kind of the balls that you can get. The girls like all kinds of things. I do put in the beads and the necklaces and the pretty things like that. We have sparkly sticks that they can play with. Again, anything you see in the store that a child would like.
When you
likely.
said something to wear, then what are you talking about? T-shirts or what
Sure.
kinds of something that you're? Give us some examples.
Sure, T-shirts, shorts, skirts, dresses, and if you know women who sew, they can sew those pillowcase dresses that are beautiful to
smart,
put
yes.
in. I know one lady who will sew pillowcase dresses, and then she makes one for a doll that matches.
Oh,
and
like
puts them
American
in.
Girl.
Yes, like American
Perfect.
Girl. So be creative.
Yes.
Socks are another really important thing. And if you visit most of those countries, you'll see that to go to school, the children need white socks. I know often people want to put colored socks in, but they have to wear white ones to go to school. And my friend who grew up in the Philippines said that even white ones that are boy socks you can put in girls, because she said we used to just fold them down, make it look like a bobby sock, and that's what we would wear to go to school.
Wouldn't have thought of that. Where can we go find more information? Website?
SamaritansPurse.org.
Easy. SamaritansPurse.org. And it's Operation Christmas Child coming up now. It's time to get your shoe boxes and get them filled up. Esther Troyer, Lori Comstock, thank you so much for what you do in our community.
Thank you. It's a pleasure.
Thank you for having us.